1. The tiers of seats in the Greek theatre are separated by blank. A. Spina. B. Pteroma. C. Diazoma. D. Peristyle. The answer is C. Diazoma. Diazoma refers to both the horizontal walkway that separates seating sections in an ancient Greek theatre and the name of a Greek non-profit association that works to protect, restore, and promote ancient theatres and other venues for cultural tourism and sustainable development. 2. The Theatre of Epidaurus, the most beautiful and best preserved by Greek theatres, were designed by blank. A. Polykleitos. B. Dinocrates. C. Callicrates. D. Scopas. The answer is A. Polykleitos. He is particularly known for his lost treatise, the Canon of Polykleitos, a canon of body proportions, which set out his mathematical basis of an idealized male body shape. None of his original sculptures are known to survive, but many marble works, mostly Roman, are believed to be later copies. 3. The Mausoleum, Halikarnassos, the most famous of all tombs and one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, were designed by Satyros together with blank. A. Polykleitos. B. Dinocrates. C. Pythias. D. Nesicles. The answer is C. Pythias. Refer to a Lydian man from ancient Persia known for his extreme wealth and hospitality to Xerxes during his invasion of Greece, as recounted in Herodotus. It also refers to Pythias of Priene, a renowned Greek architect and theorist who designed the temple of Athena Polias at Priene and the mausoleum at Halicarnassus. 5. A water clock or instrument for measuring by the discharge of water through a small opening is a blank. A. Vane. B. Flush. C. Clycydra. D. Inflecton. The answer is C. Clycydra. It is a water clock, an ancient device that measures time by the regulated flow of liquid, such as water or mercury, into or out of a vessel. Variations of the clepsydra include vessels with graduated lines to measure the water level, float mechanisms, and even devices that sink a floating boat to indicate time. Ancient civilizations like the Egyptians and Greeks used clepsydras to time political speeches and for other purposes until they were replaced by more accurate timepieces. 5. The triangular surface bounded by the sloping and horizontal cornices of a pediment is the blank. A. Metope. B. Pateras. C. Tinea. D. Tympanum. The answer is D. Tympanum. It is the triangular space enclosed by the horizontal and sloping cornices of a pediment. This area, often smooth or decorated with sculptures, is a defining feature of classical temple facades, with the Parthenon showcasing the climax of Greek pedimental composition. 6. It is an ornament in the classic or Renaissance architecture consisting of an assemblage of straight lines intersecting at right angles and of various patterns. A. Diaper pattern. B. Demi-metope. C. Termini. D. Fret. The answer is D. Fret. Also known as a Greek fret or meander, which is an assemblage of straight lines intersecting at right angles in various patterns. It is a common decorative motif in classical and Renaissance architecture. 7. A type of monument erected to support a tripod as a prize for athletic exercises or musical competitions in Greek festivals is blank. A. Monumental tomb. B. Choragic monument. C. Rostral monument. D. Hermes. The answer is B. Choragic monument. A freestanding pedestal for a bronze tripod trophy awarded to a victor in ancient Greek choral competitions. The most famous surviving example is the Choragic monument of Lysicrates in Athens, built in 334 BCE, which is also the first monument in the Corinthian order. These monuments, often named for the wealthy citizen who sponsored the victory, the Chorigos, served as a public display of the winning chorus's success at festivals like the Great Dionysia. 8. Figures of which the upper parts alone are carved, the rest running into a parallelopiped or diminishing pedestal. A. Quadrigas. B. Hermes. C. Termini. D. Acroterion. The answer is C. Termini, which is a pillar with a human head and bust that tapers down to a square base. While often used interchangeably with Herm, which has only a head and shoulders, a term continues down as a pillar-like form. The term, especially the Roman god terminus, symbolized boundaries and limits and was often used to mark property or serve as a decorative or functional architectural element. 9. A flat circular ornament which resembles the classical saucers used for wine in sacrificial libations is blank. A. Loop. B. Continus coil spiral. C. Scroll. D. Pateras. The answer is D. Pateras. It is a shallow, dish-like bowl, often decorated with bas-relief, that was used for libations and as a decorative architectural element. As a decorative element, paterae are found in architecture as circular or oval ornaments, typically in places like friezes, moldings, or as ceiling decorations. 10. A circular projecting portico is blank. A. Cyclostyle. B. Apteral. C. Cyrtostyle. D. Consoles. The answer is C. Cyrtostyle. A portico was the principal porch or entrance to a Greek temple, and was roofed and usually open at the sides. The number of columns that made up a portico determined its architectural name. 11. Consoles on either side of a doorway supporting a cornice is blank. A. Antifixe. B. Lacunaria. C. Ancones. D. Beam. The answer is C. Ancones. A specific type of console bracket used on either side of a doorway or window to support the cornice or entablature. They are ornamental brackets, often with scrolls or volutes, that support the weight of the cornice above a doorway. 12. A bracket or truss, generally with scrolls or volutes at the two ends, of unequal size and contrasted, but connected by a flowing line from the back of the upper one to the inner convolving face of the lower is A. blank. A. Cornice. B. Clepsydra. C. Consoles. D. Conventicle. The answer is C. Consoles. A more general term for a bracket-like ornament, often with scrolls, that can be used in various architectural applications. 13. Block resting on the vertex and lower extremities of the pediment to support statuary or ornament is blank. A. Ancones. B. Antifixe. C. Acroteria. D. Boss. The answer is C. Acroteria. Ornamental sculptures or pedestals placed on Greek buildings, typically at the apex and corners of a triangular pediment. Originating from the Greek word for summit, they added decorative and symbolic emphasis, often featuring floral motifs like palmettes or statues such as Nike, Victory, or figures like Eos, Dawn, and Cephalus. Initially made of terracotta, they were later crafted from stone like marble. 14. The Etruscans invented the blank. A. Tuscan. B. Doric. C. Ionic. D. Composite. The answer is A. Tuscan. The Etruscans invented the Tuscan order of architecture, which later influenced and was adopted by the Romans. This order is characterized by its simple, unfluted columns with rounded shafts and a plain capital, a style based on Etruscan use of wood and stone. It is a simplified version of the Greek Doric order and was later officially classified as a separate classical order during the Italian Renaissance. 15. The wall facing developed by the Romans, which is made of rectangular blocks of stone, with or without mortar joints but frequently secured with dowels or cramps is blank. A. Opus mixtum. B. Opus sectile. C. Opus quadratum. D. Opus testicium. The answer is C. Opus quadratum. A construction technique that uses large, rectangular stone blocks, or ashlar, laid in regular courses without mortar. Carefully dressed blocks of stone, often marble, used for a strong and aesthetically pleasing structure. Greek opus quadratum was known for its sophisticated and attractive surface finishes. 16. The wall facing developed by the Romans, which is made of rectangular, net-like stonework is blank. A. Opus spicatum. B. Opus sectile. C. Opus mixtum. D. Opus reticulatum. The answer is D. Opus reticulatum. A Roman building technique where a concrete core is faced with small, pyramid-shaped tufa stones set into the mortar in a diagonal net-like pattern. This network was popular from the 1st century BCE until the early imperial period, when it was often replaced by brickwork. The diagonal grid pattern is created by placing the square bases of the stones visible on the wall's surface while the pointed ends are embedded in the concrete core. 17. The wall facing developed by the Romans, which is made of brick facing with stones cut in triangular form, is blank. A. Opus sectile. B. Opus quadratum. C. Opus testicium. D. Opus incertum. The answer is C. Opus testicium. A Roman construction technique using fired bricks, opus lateritium, as a facing for a core of concrete, making it the most common method for imperial-era buildings. It features rows of regular bricks with triangular bricks set into the concrete, with their points embedded in the mortar. This technique was efficient and became widespread, especially after the 1st century CE, with many large structures like the baths in Rome built using it. 18. The buttress which catches the thrusts of the main vaults where they are concentrated in the pockets above the column pillars is the blank. A. Spur. B. Corbel arches. C. Niche. D. Pinnacle. The answer is A. Spur. In classical and early Christian architecture, a spur, from the French griffe, is an ornamental claw carved on the angles of a column base, resting on the projecting plinth. Spurs have been used since antiquity as a decorative element in architecture. They were used by the Celts and ancient Romans, and later in medieval knights' armor. The answer is C. Pinnacle. A pinnacle is a pointed structure placed on top of a buttress, or spur buttress, to add weight, which helps to counteract the lateral, or oblique, thrust from a vault, pushing it more steeply down to the ground. 20. Marble mosaic pattern used on ceilings of vaults and domes is the blank. A. Opus topiarium. B. Opus alexandrinum. C. Opus testacum. D. Opus tessellatum. The answer is D. Opus tessellatum. The standard technique for creating mosaics using small, uniform cubes called tesserae, which are typically larger than 4 mm. It was the most common mosaic method during the Hellenistic, Roman, and Byzantine periods, used for decorative borders, floors, and walls, and often involved filling in larger designs with simple horizontal or vertical lines. 22. The dry sweating room in the thermae is the blank. A. Unctoria. B. Sudatorium. C. Palastra. D. Apodyteria. The answer is B. Sudatorium, a sweat room in a Roman-style bathhouse. It was derived from the verb sudare, to sweat. In modern research, sudatorium is used for a room with a hypocaust and wall heating, heated by its own furnaces. It is often located between the tepidarium and the caldarium. In this room, the bathers sat on benches where they sweated out what was thought as bad bodily fluids. Sudatoria were rarely fitted with a pool. 23. The dressing room in the thermae is called blank. A. Frigidarium. B. Hypocaust. C. Apodyteria. D. Laconicum. The answer is C. Apodyteria. An apodyterium was the changing room in ancient Greek or Roman bathhouses where people would store their clothes and belongings before bathing. It was often equipped with benches, niches, or cubbyholes in the walls for storing personal items. 24. The room containing the oil and perfume in the thermae is the _______. A. Laconicum. B. Unctuaria. C. Sudatorium. D. Tepidarium. The answer is B. Unctuaria, a room in an ancient Roman bath where people were anointed with oils and perfumes. These rooms held various jars of luxury oils and balsams, which the wealthy bathers would purchase to be massaged with as a final ritual before leaving the baths. The word is likely a corruption of the Latin word unctorium, influenced by the English word unctuous. 25. Niches, similar to pigeonholes, formed in the rock where ashes of the dead placed in an urn were deposited is the blank. A. Thalabate. B. Columbaria. C. Loculi. D. Jotagic. The answer is B. Columbaria, a structure for the respectful storage of urns containing cremated remains. It features a series of compartments or niches, where urns are placed, and can be a standalone building, part of a mausoleum, or integrated into a cemetery wall or church. The term originally referred to a dovecote, due to the resemblance of the niches to compartments for doves.